Do you wish you were a Gen Z? You're not Gen Z. You're a millennial. No, you're a millennial. How old are you?
Truthful.
I believe that you believe that you're Gen Z.
I am Gen Z.
What year were you born?
It doesn't matter.
Hey everyone, welcome to Ajay and Nathan Discuss Movies, a show in which we discuss movies, both old and new. Today, Nathan is unfortunately out, but have no fear, because I did watch a new movie this past weekend, and that movie is titled Die My Love, directed by the one, the only Lynne Ramsay. The film stars Jennifer Lawrence as Grace, as her and her husband, played by Robert Pattinson, who is named Jackson in the movie, go to a cabin in Montana as they recently both had a baby. Or they have a baby in that cabin, and the film is basically about Jennifer Lawrence's character going through postpartum depression that spirals into schizophrenia, and the outbursts, the meltdowns, and the insanity that ensue from there. The film is directed by Lynne Ramsay. She also made films such as We Need to Talk About Kevin, a film that was actually about Ezra Miller's life, as well as You Were Never Really Here, both films that were critically received. This is her follow-up to those films. And overall, I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was a great film. I thought it was entertaining. Entertaining, but certainly not enjoyable. I think that that's the best way to sort of break this film down, is that it was an entertaining watch. I thought it was a good film, bordering on great. I just felt as if it wasn't enjoyable. There are moments in this film where you're watching it and you're literally having your stomach being turned because of just how crazy Grace is in the film, but also just how negligent Jackson can also be to Grace's feelings and emotions. It's a good film. It's a great film. And I felt like this film was really highlighted by its performances. Jennifer Lawrence does an amazing job in this film. I definitely feel as if she should be nominated for an award based off her portrayal and performance of this schizophrenic lady going through the throes of having a baby. I also thought Robert Pattinson did really good as well. And the supporting cast really elevated the film. Dick Nolte, Sissy Spacek, these two play the in-laws, the parent-in-laws to Grace's character. They play the parents of Jackson's character. And Lakeith Stanfield plays the affair, the love interest of Grace. There are times in this film where you're sort of wondering whether or not things that are shown on screen actually happen, or whether they're just a figment of Grace's imagination. And I feel as if with your further rewatches, maybe you will be able to dictate whether or not it's actually happening or whether it's just all in her head. And I feel as if those scenes with Lakeith Stanfield really show out and really stick out because you really don't know whether or not it's in her head or whether it is actually occurring. And you sort of see the line between fiction and reality start to blur, especially in that third act of the movie. So other positives I can give to this movie is that I really like the aspect ratio. It's in a 4:3 aspect ratio, a 1:33 aspect ratio. And I say that of note because it gives a really boxed feeling. When you see it in the theater, it doesn't take up the entire screen. It's in this boxed setting, and I feel as if it was a reflection of the mental state that Grace was in within this movie. We mentioned the performances. I also really liked the soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack was really good. There are a few songs that really stick out, such as Crossroads by Cream. There's that John Prine song that is heavily used throughout this entire film. And when you hear the lyrics of that song, it greatly reflects the relationship between Grace and Jackson, because it's quite a morbid song. It's about these two people in a relationship that don't really have that much going on with them, that don't really have that much going on between them, but they're still together because that's all they have. And I felt as if that was a great sort of mirroring of the relationship between Grace and Jackson. So we mentioned the soundtrack, we mentioned the performances, the aspect ratio, and above all, I thought the cringe humor was great. I loved the cringe humor. There were moments in this film in which I was dying at. it's well, one thing that really sticks out with this film, and that is of note, is that there's not that much dialogue within this film. And when you see the cringe humor being taken place, especially with Grace's character, because there are moments in this film in which Grace's character is just acting like an animal, whether it's at her cabin or whether it's at her wedding, because an hour and 20 in, Grace and Jackson do get married. And for a while you think that, oh, I thought they were married. But they get married, and the way in which she dances at her own wedding is crazy. Grace and Jackson are invited to a party, and this is not really a spoiler because I'm not really spoiling anything, but Grace and Jackson are invited to a party, and the way in which Grace handles herself at this party is anything short of cringe. It is mind-bogglingly stupid in which how she acts. And I felt as if that really demonstrated how Lynne Ramsay was able to use cringe humor to her advantage. So this is a great film. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's worth your time watching. Again, this is not for the commercial audience. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Vanity Fair video in which Robert Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence were in will probably have more viewers than this movie. I'm pretty sure. I mean, forget about this video that you're watching right now. It's definitely going to surpass this video. Easily. But I do think as if that video will have more eyeballs than the actual movie, which is a shame because I feel as if this movie should be watched by a lot of people. When I watched in the theater, it was literally just me and one guy behind me, and he was pacing. For most of the beginning of the movie, he was pacing back and forth, and I was very scared. I was like, oh my God, if this man kills me, I don't even think it will reach front page news in the town that I'm watching this movie in, you know? So, again, all I have to say is go watch the movie. We often tell Hollywood to make original stories, but more often than not, people don't put their money where their mouth is and support those films. So please go watch this movie. There is one negative, and it's not really a negative, but I felt as if for this movie, there wasn't that much dialogue within this movie, and sometimes that can be a good thing. But in its replacement were long, drawn-out scenes in which not much really happens. And I felt as if the pacing of the movie sort of left me wanting more. It's a 2-hour plus movie. It runs at a 2 hour and some change. And it feels every bit of 2 hours because there are long moments in this film in which not much really happens in terms of the actions, in terms of the character relationships between the two, in terms of dialogue. That is dialogue that really matches the schizophrenic outburst that we see not just within Grace's character but just within schizophrenia in general. And I felt as if the lack of the dialogue really made the film longer than it had to be. All that is to say, I still think that this film is well worth to be watched on the big screen, and that's really my only critique on the movie. Other than that, I think it's a pretty solid movie. It's going to be tough to rewatch it because, again, not only do you have to see the film in its entirety and this really boxed in aspect ratio, but you have to really be in the mood to watch a person go through a deterioration of their mental state and their well-being throughout the film. And that can be difficult for the average moviegoer. So all that is to say, please go watch this film. It's well worth your time watching, and I think it beats most of the movies that are out there. I've yet to see Predator Badlands. I'm going to watch Predator Badlands sooner than later. But other than that, that's really the only movie that I have an interest in watching that's in the theaters right now. Things can definitely change. Maybe Eternity, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't really that enthused by the trailers, so I'll just stick with Predator Badlands. But anyways, guys, that has been our show for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are on this movie. The bookshop has been updated with Meet Me in the Bathroom, written by Lizzy Goodman. Really good pick, a really good book. Go check our bookshop riveting.org affiliate, we do get some money in return, or some change in return in terms of what we can use to spend it on other books. But yes, that is it for today. I'll see you guys next week, and we'll talk more about movies then. We'll probably have a guest, honestly. I think I like the guest format. It's a little difficult to make it a weekly thing because a lot of times the people that I'm friends with aren't always free when I'm free. So it's a little bit difficult to schedule it, but I like the guest format. And if anything, if I do have an episode, it'll probably be with a guest. So yes, that is it for me. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.